Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine Binger, and this is my AEP 855 Module 1 video introduction for the course. To start, some information about me personally, just to keep it simple, some hobbies that I enjoy are reading, cooking, and baking, and then traveling. It is one of my goals in life to visit a new country, maybe not necessarily country, but place, every year. 2 years ago, I went to Ireland, so I included a picture of my brother and I at the Cliffs of Moher. And then this summer I got married, so I included a picture of my new husband and I. So we are going through the first couple months of marriage, and it's been fun. Professionally, I did my undergrad at K-State, and I worked for 4 years at Junction City High School as the 10th grade English and pre-AP English teacher. I'm in my second year at Kansas City Public Schools East High School, which is a low-income school, inner city. We have 52 different languages that are spoken at our school. We have the largest high school in our district, which is saying a lot considering we have, I think it's 8 high schools, including charter schools, so there's a lot going on. And this year I've taken on a couple leadership roles, including yearbook sponsor, which I am co-sponsoring with another teacher, and then I'm also the AVID site coordinator. So it's exciting getting into new roles and seeing how things are. To address some of the questions, why do politics influence schools? Some quotes from the book include an educational leader promotes the success of every student, and that we need to focus on being not just a community role model, but a proactive engagement both in schools and in our communities. So basically, educators aren't selected and identify things based on opinion, but that all they do is support the students, the staff, and the school, and that's very important, and something that politics don't always necessarily think about. Why did standards focus on outcomes? Because of the 10th Amendment, I focused on 2 areas: control over what people are allowed to teach, and then becoming focused on testing and quality education indicators, which takes away from the true knowledge and wisdom that teachers have and how they can help their students and the students' individual needs, and instead of focusing on test scores and standards and things like that. Why the standards evolved. I included a quote from the text we were supposed to read. The political context of schools require leaders to have the political understanding of how to get people to work together for the students to be successful. These kinds of leaders empower others to offer leadership to schools and to negotiate education's political context towards a common goal of success for all students. What this basically means is that over time, we have transitioned from leaders being people who are just in the building monitoring and making sure everyone's doing what they're doing. And now leaders are people who are supposed to be role models and true pillars in the education community, both for students, teachers, and parents alike. Why school leaders must become political activists? It's about need over knowledge. Are students getting the skills they need to survive versus just learning material that they don't really need to survive and be successful? A lot of this has to do with the demographic issues and needs. My school needs more basic knowledge. For example, my students are not likely going to college, mostly by choice because they have to work. But I think it's important to include a nutrition class and a cooking on a budget class, which is something we don't offer. We don't offer any cooking. We don't offer any nutritional value classes. And I think that those are skills that our students need, but they're not deemed necessary by the state and federal governments. Why do politics surrounding educational policies provide the strongest connection between what school leaders feel and do and their ability to strategically think about how to handle it all? What we feel and do has to do with test scores, the funding we're getting for educational programs, and the students' daily needs. But we strategically think about prioritizing and finding innovative and advancing ways to teach things in order to support our students. We have to think about how to do these things in order to achieve the feel and do, the test scores, the funding, and all that. To transition to my own personal opinions, it's safe to say I do not like politics in the sense of I think that oftentimes it's people making uninformed decisions, and I don't think that's fair. But with that being said, I try my hardest to include everything that I can politically as far as following the expectation, but there are some days I have to stop and remove the expectation and include what my students truly need. And I know moving forward I'm going to have to tip that scale a little bit more in order to follow the policies and standards in place, but I'm getting there. And what do you propose will help to improve? To follow educational policies more closely. Like I said, I need to be aware of what's going on and look for ways to utilize all of that to best serve my students. And then these are my resources. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.